This video, I'm hoping, is going to act as a way to kind of get everybody up to speed on the Twomad situation, the things that happened, as well as some information that I don't think is out there that people have not been reporting on, as well as just, do you even know who Twomad is? Maybe you've seen him trending on Twitter or heard about him passing away, but you don't actually know where you maybe know this guy from, because he was very popular. He was on the news at the height of COVID and stuff. And so I just wanted to make this video as an all-encompassing, this is what happened, this is who he was, these are my thoughts as far as some of the things that have been being said about him since his passing. And so let's dive into it, starting with just talking about where maybe you have seen Twomad from, or where you maybe know him from. And that would be, he had some massive videos during the height of COVID. These were Zoom infiltration or Zoom hacking videos. He would reach out to his fans, to his audience, and he'd say, hey, send me the Zoom link to your classroom. I'll come in, I'll troll the teacher, I'll troll the other students, I'll troll you guys. And those videos got super popular, so popular, in fact, he was on the news at least a couple of times for people reporting on these Zoom hacks. They were quite popular, really, really good, super funny. Honestly, I was watching some of them just to kind of reflect and watch some of his earlier stuff, and they're funny. They are honestly really well made, really funny videos, and he's very funny in them, regardless of what you think of him as a creator. I want this video to be very middle of the road. I'm kind of indifferent on the guy. I didn't know a lot about his controversies before researching to make this video. Obviously, in passing, I'd heard them, and that leads us to some of his controversies. And I've got my little document here because I'm doing this all in a single take, but him and Hassan had some beef over some COVID-related stuff. It's really cringe that it was beef to begin with, but there was some controversy there. He's had a little bit of beef. H3 got involved with that one, so you might have heard of him through that. Then there was the Brianna Gay, which I hope I'm saying her last name properly. I'm sorry, it's unfortunate. It's G-H-E-Y, Gihey. I don't know how to say her last name. He posted something that was really poor taste, I guess is the best way that you would say it. It was this girl who had passed away. She was a transgender girl who had passed away because she was stabbed to death, and Twomad posted a picture of her on Twitter saying that this was a picture of his girlfriend. He claimed that he didn't know that she had passed away. He claimed a few things in that situation, but that really put him on the map for people to not like him, to be very upset about who he was as a person, and call him insensitive and all sorts of things. So that was kind of his first really big controversy online. I believe that happened a little over a year ago, year and a half ago maybe. That was the big one. The next one was that there were some SA allegations that came out against him. These SA allegations were from another creator, basically sharing a bunch of screenshots and things that were between the two of them. He made some claims that these were screenshots that he was coerced into sending the messages, or he was role playing or something like that. The screenshot, everything came out, and it basically was like, okay, Twomad's doing some weird stuff with the people that he's interacting with. He was a weird, interesting guy. We're not going to deny that or claim anything different. He was a strange guy, and self-admittedly so. He knew that he had some screws loose up in his head. Now, this comes along with some Jameski allegations that came out after his passing. We're going to talk about Jameski and those allegations a little bit later, but the controversy now is that he's also been accused of attempted murder and attempting to murder a few different people, as well as some other things related to that. We're going to read Jameski's tweet here in just a couple of seconds, but I did just want to show, so there's the obviously TMZ article that came out. TMZ was the first place to report on Twomad passing away, and almost immediately after this was posted at 9:30 in the evening, and almost immediately after this, the next day, this was Jameski saying, I can finally say it. Twomad was an R guy and a PDF lover. Over the past few years, he tried to murder me multiple times for helping the police and detectives in multiple states to investigate a lot of horrible things he's done. He wanted to take out multiple innocent lives by getting behind the wheel of going head on a freeway while being high on illegal drugs. He didn't succeed once, as he OD'd before killing anybody, so he tried it again. Despite him trying to murder me multiple innocent lives, I've been trying to help law enforcement to make sure he's safe, doesn't get hurt, and doesn't harm anybody. Please remember that he is bad things, and he's continued to prey on vulnerable people even after the police got involved, including a 13-year-old in a mental hospital. The tragedy doesn't excuse any of his actions. I will address a lot of this stuff when I fully collect my thoughts. Past few months have been a total mess, and the reason why I ended up in the ER. Please give me time. This was a huge bombshell, obviously, because there are a lot of things being alleged in this relatively short tweet, all of which have been said without any evidence. Now, that doesn't mean that Jamesky doesn't have any evidence, and the reason I say that is because Jamesky, I have some information behind the scenes that does support that Jamesky has evidence for some, maybe all. There's bits and pieces of evidence that Jamesky does have that he will most likely be releasing, as he says he wants to collect all of his thoughts. So that is a big thing that came out, obviously. And the way that he passed away, Jamesky kind of alludes to it here. He says that he OD'd before killing anybody, and so he tried to do it again. This is kind of insinuating that because the potential reason of death was an overdose, that he was attempting to get himself into that headspace again to go out and hurt innocent people. That could be true. I don't know. One of the things that everybody is talking about and is saying is that this was a meth or fentanyl-induced high that caused the overdose. I have heard from reliable sources that this was not meth, that this was not fentanyl specifically, that the high was ketamine. He was going into a K-hole, and ketamine typically doesn't kill you if you overdose. You have to be taking something else with it. So the likelihood that there was another drug involved, quite high, but this was ketamine. He had prescribed ketamine from a doctor, not any illegal drugs necessarily. This was prescription, taking it under doctor's orders. Obviously, he had some issues, some screws loose. He was able to get his hands on this stuff. And so that's kind of like where I'm at as far as there's no evidence, but I've got some information from behind the scenes. I can't share where I got any of that. You got to trust me, bro. It's a trust me, bro moment. And I know that's not the most exciting thing in the world, but that's what I'm hearing from some other people. Now, this post-death, there was also some other accusations that came out from Rubber Nose. This is a lot. I witnessed firsthand Twomad's threats on James live during TwitchCon. He couldn't even go home because he knew his address was en route to Vegas after the threats. He had to use our hotel room to hide out while waiting for law enforcement. So this is Rubber Nose kind of corroborating what James has said, saying, yeah, he's trying to kill me. He was attempted murdering quite a bit. And then there's Zestella, I think I'm saying her name correctly, saying that he had harassed her for months on social, spammed me with dozens of messages, saying that he was obsessed and how he needed to R-word her. Sometimes he'd add with a minor, don't regret what I did. Very deranged. And again, I'm not here to defend any of the crazy stuff that Twomad said or did. He had issues. This guy had problems. He didn't deal with them in the right way, obviously, but he did have some issues. And so there's other people who have come out since Jamesky saying, yeah, he had issues. There's evidence. He did these things to me. We haven't had any of the physical evidence that we would typically like to see with this. There is a little bit of proof here of images being sent. Who knows if these are real or not, right? We always have, people coming out with stuff. They got fake Twitters and fake DMs and fake everything, all of this. At the end of the day, we know Twomad had issues. We just know that. The guy, he went crazy on Twitter. He was saying some of the most insane stuff a year ago when he was dealing with things. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that this stuff did happen, okay? Now, I do want to look at some of the memes, and I think Twomad was the type of person, these things wouldn't bother him. Now, these memes are not tasteful. I'm going to be straight up with you. These memes are not tasteful memes, but I think Twomad was the type of person who wouldn't have cared. Maybe I'm wrong, okay? Maybe you should cancel me for this. I think that the sentiment online has been that of mixed. It really sucks when somebody passes away this young, when somebody's got issues that they aren't able to deal with, and at the same time, this guy is the type of person who would make jokes about people in certain situations, and I don't think he would be too upset about this. That being said, let's have a look at one of the funnier things that's kind of revolving around this, which is that he passed away while he was playing Overwatch 2. This is just, you know it because he's been playing the game for 6 days, 5 days, 6 days, depending on the screenshot that we're getting. He had, you know, he was gaming. He was gaming while he was getting through a K-hole, maybe amping himself up to go do some other terrible things. We don't know. That's kind of wild. There's this other one of this guy who found out that Twomad passed away on the Wii News channel, of all places. I didn't know Nintendo Wii's still turned on. I thought they had all been antiquated, thrown into landfills, but they are out here. This one is a little bit more spicy. Twomad playing Overwatch. Let's go, we won. I know I'm a fucking terrible person, okay? Then there's this one. This one's quite funny as well.
Peter, don't. They say if you watch that video, you die.
Ah, that's a lot of baloney.
A victory is at hand.
Fuck, man.
Peter,
these are funny, okay? They are funny. Haven't watched Twomad in a while. I wonder how he's been.
Man, I'm dead. Man, I'm dead.
Honestly, true, okay? True. At the end of the day, this is what I want to end on. Regardless of how you feel about Twomad, about the things that he did, about what he was going through, the loss of life at this age is tragic. There is also the very real possibility that this was a good thing, that the only loss of life was his, that there were no other people that were hurt. It sounds like he was going to hurt other people because of the pain that he was feeling in his life. And I am personally thankful that the only casualty in this is one, that being Twomad. He was troubled. He would have hurt other people, in my opinion. I think that is very possible. And hopefully this video at least gives you some insight on some of the funnier, okay things he did, as well as some of the other reasons that people are posting memes like this, basically making fun of the fact that he has passed away, because in the past he has done that to other people. And there are more than likely going to be actual evidence, fact-based things coming out in the next weeks, I would hope, days, weeks. If it's months, I don't know if people are going to care at the end of that. You know, the internet moves quickly. So keep an eye on Jameski. I will also keep an eye on him. If there's anything worth making another video on, then I will do that. But for now, I think this was a relatively concise video. What are we at? About 15 minutes to just give you the rundown on everything going on with Twomad, Jameski, all of the allegations coming out. That's it. This guy can't defend himself now, but if we can get some proof, some evidence coming out, I think that will solidify the way that a lot of people feel about him. If you guys enjoy daily videos like this, or just daily videos with my face in general, subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate that. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers in the next little bit. And that's it. That's all. I love you guys. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. I got a fun video coming out. That's it. Bye-bye. Okay, I've already said that 4 times. See you later. See you next time. See ya.